shared this fence since we were boys, worked the same dirt, raised the same noise. Him and me, like brothers true, same church, same truck, same morning dew. But then one day in June I saw his wife standing in the barn doors thaw, sunlight on her hair, coffee in hand, and I felt something I couldn't command. I don't blame him for loving her. She's kind, she's strong, she's everything pure. He's a good man, he's my best friend, but I love her and it won't end. Not in fire, not in fight, just slow, quiet every night. And if I burn for this sin I've known, I don't blame him, I blame the road I've gone. She don't know, she'd never guess, and just smiles and how's your harvest, yes. But when she talks, I hear the grace, and I see a life I can't replace. I've walked away from that back porch light, fists clenched tight in the dead of night, prayed to God to take it away, but he just let it stay. I don't blame him for loving her. He built that home, he earned every word. He fixed her fence, held her through pain, while I just watch in the rain. And if I die with this truth in my chest, let them say I fought but failed the test. And if she's happy, that's all I know. I don't blame him, I just love her too slow. It ain't lust, it ain't rage, it ain't pride. It's just two souls who met on the wrong side of a fence, of a vow, of a sacred line. And I cross it every time in my mind. I don't blame him for loving her. He's the man she chose, he's the man she heard. I'm just the shadow, the one who sees the life I want on his knees. So I'll stay silent, I'll do my part, work the land, break my heart. And if I burn, let the flames be true. I don't blame him, I only blame. I don't blame him, I blame the wind that carried her voice to my sin. Like Johnny with .3, kissed mama slow beneath this tree. Said I'm fighting for dirt, not for gold, for this red barn, this story untold. He came home thin, with the metal and pain, but he never complained, and he worked in the rain. And every 4th of July, way on first, he raised that flag like a sacred trust. So the flag on the hill still waves so slow, over cornfields, over graves down below. Not for glory, not for war, but for the ones who flutters in wind, in rain, in snow, like the promise we made long ago, to stand, to serve, to live free. This flag is the land and the family. My boy wore boots in a desert far. Said, Dad, I'm keeping the same bright star that guided you, that guided Pa. Then the knock came slow on a cold December. We buried him near the old oak line, where the mockingbirds sing and the sun still shines. And I tell his daughter when she asks why that flag flies, 'cause he said that's why. So the flag on the hill still waves so slow, a symbol of love, not just of show. A breakfast shared, of prayers we knew, of working hard, of seeing it through. It's not just red, white, and blue. It's Grandpa's hands and my boys too. And if I fall, let it be on this good ground where the flag flies free. They talk of cities of power, of fame, but this dirt, this cross, this quiet name is what they died for, plain and true. Not a crown, but a sky so blue, and a child who knows what brave means from a flag and a man dreams. So the flag on the hill will wave so long as there's a heart that still holds strong for the soil, the soul, the oath we keep, for the ones asleep and the ones who weep. And when I'm gone, don't you fold it tight, just let it fly into the light. For the land, the free, the brave, the meek, this flag is my family. The flag on the hill still waves, still prays, still stays. Monday morning, she's out in the mud, chasing chickens, fixing the plow with blood on her hands from the thorn and the wire. But she laughs like it's part of the choir. She milks the cow, feeds the hog, sings to the corn like it knows the gods. Then Friday comes, she washes her face, puts on her dress, and I see my place. 'Cause she can two-step in rubber boots, spin like a top and break the roots. Fiddle screams, the floor starts to shake, and the whole room says that's a one fine make. She don't need a ballroom, a chandelier, just a beat, a grin, and a man who's sincere. And me holding on, trying not to fall. Every time she dances, she owns it all. in her tractor shed, rain pouring down, not a soul in sight, dead. I said, no music. She said, we got rain. So we waltzed to the thunder, no shame, no pain. Now 50 years gone and her hair's turned gray, but she kicks off her shoes and says, let's have a day. And when that old fiddle starts to cry, she's 16 again, and so am I. So she can two-step in rubber boots, spin like a whirlwind, light up the roots. Fiddle screams, the neighbors all shout, she's still got it, no doubt, no doubt. She don't need a stage, she don't need a crown, just a man who loves her and this little town. And when the band plays and the stars come out, she owns the floor without a doubt. They say love fades, well they ain't seen my girl in that dress dancing wild and keen. She's my heart, my laugh, my rhyme. The best thing I ever did was marry that wife. Yeah, she can two-step in rubber boots, kick up the dust and make the room salute. Fiddle's on fire, the bass is low, and she's dancing like she don't know that she's old, that she's tired, that time's run fast. She's just my girl in that moment in class. She can two-step in rubber boots. Lord, I love that woman. Yeehaw. Play it again, fiddle boy. He remembers the back-breaking work, long night mass, dance to the land's call. Fairhaven rose, I'm quite see the wonders, back to back, the ditch. He remembers backbite, the better with this, the long ladder Martin and my clothes. We remembers like the bright, we see the letters by the line of the line. He took me with these bad ways, and bad old man don't know, but I like life with love for song. He will be robbers that parade traitors out of full on the way to in this mess place. When the cockneys blow ruin, he warm as mattress. We'd gather at dusk when the work was done, share a dip of tobacco and talk of the sun. Old man Jenkins would play his beat-up guitar, and we'd sing old songs beneath one bright star. The kids all left for the city's bright light, said, Pa, this land won't feed us right. I didn't blame them, just nodded my head, while the tears in my eyes stayed warm and red. Yeah, the cotton stopped growing when the times turned cold, when the rich got richer and the poor got sold. the harvest moon, just silence and weeds and a long gone tune, and the house stands empty, the well's running low. I still feel the ache when the cotton stopped growing. Progress has its place and name, but it don't know my daddy's first and last name. It don't know the sweat, the prayers and the roar, the pride and the harvest no one else would know. Now the cotton stopped growing, so did I, just a shadow on the porch as the years drift by. But if heaven's a place with a fence and a plow, I'll be back in the field with my face to the vow, and the Lord will say, son, you kept on sowing. When the cotton stopped growing, but my heart kept growing. When the cotton stopped growing, I stayed. I stayed. He remembers back-breaking workers pull on my boots and the lamb's gone. He remembers back-breaking insurance that on my west on the walls lamb. They remember back-breaking office and blue, but they'll get as many as be. We didn't have much, but we had honest days, and the sun bore down on our hard-earned way. But the cotton stop growing when the world moves gone. You're looking like there's that goes through the sun. But man, good there ain't a strike right in the Union boy. Once heard our red soul into a part night. Now the wind there still hear the rustle when the cotton stopped growing. We'd gather at dusk when the work was done, share a dip of tobacco and talk of the sun. Old man Jenkins would play his beat-up guitar, and we'd sing old songs beneath one bright star. The Pa, this land won't feed us right. I didn't blame 'em, just nodded my head while the tears in my eyes stayed warm and red. Yeah, the cotton stopped growing when the times turned cold, when the rich got richer and the poor got sold. No more bales stacked high in the harvest moon, just silence and weeds and a long gone tune. And the house stands empty, the well's running low. I still feel the ache when the cotton stopped growing. I reckon progress has its place and name, but it don't know my daddy's first and last name. It don't know the sweat, the prayers in the road, the pride in a harvest no one else would know. Now the cotton stopped growing, and so did I. Just a shadow on the porch as the years drift by. But if heaven's a place with a fence and a plow, I'll be back in the field with my face to the vow. And the Lord will say, son, you kept on sowing when the cotton stopped growing. But my heart kept growing when the cotton stopped growing. I stayed, I stayed.
You'll know the coffee on that tune, the one you've sung since June of '71. Your hair's gone gray, your step's a little slow, but when she's the first time I know, you fold a towel like you always do, and hum a hymn I never knew. But I know you, every line, every grace, and I fall in love in that quiet space. It's still the first time when you say my name, still the first time I forget my pain, still the first time I feel brand new, every time I look at you. 40 winters and the fire still bright, you're my morning, you're my night. And if I live to be 92, it'll still feel like the the first time with you. We've had our storms, we've had our years, lost a child, faced our deepest fears. But you held my hand through the darkest door and loved me more than I could ask for. Now the house is quiet, the kids are gone, but I still watch you move along that kitchen floor with that same old grace. And I thank God for this everyday place. It's still the first time when you touch my hand, still the first time I understand that love ain't fireworks, love ain't show. It's you right here after all I've known. Through the years, through the gray and blue, it's still the first time. It's still the first time with you. They say time fades the brightest flame, but ours just grew from spark to name. Not loud, not fast, just true and deep, like a promise the soul can keep. It's still the first time when you say I'm here, still the first time I conquer fear, still the first time I feel it's true that I was made for only you. So when I go and my breath is through, I'll whisper still the first time with you. Still the first time. Every morning, every night, my only love, my wife. I was 17, grease on my hand, fixing my daddy's truck on a Friday night stand. Then she walked in a blue gingham dress, hair like honey, I could hardly confess. She said, "Can I ride?" I said, "Only if you stay." We drove down the gravel where the fireflies played, the radio crackling a Hank Williams tune, and I fell in love beneath that
share one piece of pie. Talk about babies and where we might buy a little white house by the red barn lane, with a porch swing creaking in the sweet summer rain. Her daddy said, boy, you got nothing to give, but I had my hands and the love that I live. Now 30 years gone, she still holds my hand, and we dance in the kitchen like we planned. Oh, I was sweet on that girl from Cotton Bend. Now she's my wife and my best, truest friend. We've weathered the storms, we've paid every cost, but I'd choose her again, no matter the loss. Still sweet on that girl with the gingham dress, and I always will be, I must confess. The world's gotten loud, but we keep it slow. Same old songs, same love we know. And when I'm gone, let 'em say of me, he loved one woman faithfully. Yeah, I'm still sweet on that girl from Cotton Bend, with the silver in her hair and the light without end. We'll dance in heaven just like we did to a crackling radio and a Hank Williams hymn. No grand goodbye, just a soft see you soon. Me and that girl beneath the harvest moon. Sweet on that girl from Cotton Bend, and I always will be, till the very end. Sunlight cuts through the window pane, dust in the air like a soft refrain. And 20 kids stand in crooked line, hands on hearts and shirts that shine. Not from iron, but from love, like the one I wore, hand-me-downs from above. And there's my boy in the second row, hair uncombed but his voice is slow, and clear as the bell that called us home when I was small and not alone. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag and the land and the brave. Same words I said in this very place, with dirt on my shoes and a smile on my face. Now I sit here old and still, watching the blood of my blood fulfill a promise not written in law or mine, but in work and prayer, in doing what's right. And that pledge in room 6 is still the truest thing I've ever lived. His His mama's gone, she drove off one night, left him with me in a world not right. But this school, this flag, this teacher kind gave him a place and peace of mind. The principal's old taught my pa, same flag hangs there, same wooden door. And when they all say with liberty, I see my father's face in the army. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag that flew at his birth. Not because it's forced, not because it's due, but cause he knows what it's been through. For the farm that feeds, for the road that runs, for the war my pa fought in my boy's young lungs, that rise each morn with a hope so pure that this land can still endure. And that pledge in room 6 is the strongest thread that holds us in. They say the world's changed, the young don't care, but I see it right here in the morning air. A small hand up, a voice so thin, saying words that built where we begin. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag and the land and the free. And I whisper along with tears in my eyes, that's my boy reaching the skies. No fanfare, no crowd, no parade today, just a country school and a child who will say, this land is mine and I'll keep it true, like my pa did and my pa before you. And that pledge in room 6 is still the heartbeat of this old land of sticks. The pledge in room 6 still stands, still means everything. We ain't upstairs, we ain't in a rush, just sitting here quiet as hush. You're wearing mama's shawl, I'm in my tie. Still can't believe you're here and you're mine. The swing creaks slow, like it knows the tune of two old hearts mending too soon. Or maybe just right after all these years, wiped away the dust, faced our fears. So this is our first night, no fancy bed, just stars above and the words we said. You laugh at my joke about the tractor stall,
and I fall in love 10 times more small. No need to move, no need to try. Just you beside me beneath this sky. After all the rain, after all the pain, it's quiet like this that love feels plain and true. You said, remember when we almost kissed by the well in June in the golden mist? I said, yeah, and I've wondered since why. You smiled. Maybe God saved it for tonight. And we talk about the kids, the farm, the fence, then sit in silence, no pretense. And when you rest your head on my arm, I whisper, thank you, Lord, for her and home. So this is our first night. No champagne, no band, just fireflies dancing on the old back land. You hum that hymn I used to know, and I feel 20 in the afterglow. No rush, no show, no need to prove, just us, this swing and patient love. After all the years, after all the rain, it's you and me again. They said too late, too old to start, but love don't care about the world's dark art. It grows in silence, in shared routine, in coffee, in chores, in what love means. And tonight it's ours, plain and real and full. So this is our first night. No bells, no fanfare, just you in my arms and the cool night air. You say I'm happy with tears in your eyes, and I hold you close like a long lost prize. No need for more, no need to roam this porch, this swing, this heart is home. After all the loss, after all the strain, we found our way. Again. First night, but feels like forever. With Eugene, with you. He's stepping down after 50 years, not because of doubt, but because it's time to rest. He reflects on faith, forgiveness, the people he's loved. I ain't standing on no upright base, very Lord, gentle rains. It's here now, I've won. I'm in line, and I ain't preaching, just talking plain, like a man who's loved and lost and gained. It ain't in the words, it ain't in the song, and bright me. I did prison time, buried soldiers with tears in my head, held the hand of the drunk, the thief, the shame. Never once felt I was above the same. I sinned, I stumbled, I cried at night, but grace came quiet like morning light. Not with thunder, not with flame, just a whisper, son, I know your name. So I ain't preaching, just talking plain, like a man who's carried joy and pain. It ain't in the robes, it ain't in the choir, it's in feeding the hungry and lifting the tired. So if you remember me when I'm gone, say he loved God and he loved us all. When I stand before him, I won't speak loud, just bow my head and thank him proud for the wife he gave, for the souls he sent, for the chance to love and to repent. And now I ain't preaching, just resting my soul with the good book open and a heart made whole. If my voice still echoes in your mind, don't quote my words, just be kind. And when you see me in the dust where I'm gone, say he loved God and he loved us all. My last sermon, but I ain't preaching, just remembering him. And you.
drums, no piano, no piano. After 60 horses, I reckon it's time to go. The doctor says my back won't bend, and my knees scream every time I bend. I sold the tractor this morning to young Billy Joe, and said take care of her, she's got soul. But before I leave, I had to say to you, old friend, at the end of the day, dear old dirt, burning out, and you fed my family, carried me through droughts and floods, through joy and pain. You gave your best, and I did the same. I never thanked you, just took in toil, but I loved you, dirt, all the while. Yeah, I loved you like a man loves home, even when I was broke and all alone. I buried my dog beneath a sycamore tree, and my first corn crop near the old creek. You held my tears when Mama died, soaked them right up, never denied. I kissed your soil when my boy was born, and whispered grow strong like the fields at dawn. Now my hands are weak, my sight is thin, but I still feel you deep within. Dear old dirt, brown and true, you fed my family, carried me through droughts and floods, through joy and pain. You gave your best, and I did the same. I never thanked you, just took in toil, but I loved you, dirt, all the while. Yeah, I loved you like a man loves grace. You held my life in every trace. They'll pave you one day, I know it's true, turn you to parking, sell you to new. But when the wind blows through that empty lot, I hope it carries what I cannot. A whisper soft from an old man's soul, that dirt was holy, made him whole. Dear old dirt, rest in peace. You gave a poor man a life of ease, not in gold, but in bread and pride, in honest sweat
wild grass grow, and let me turn to dust like I belong back to you, my old dirt, where I'm from. Dear old dirt, thank you for everything. I knew her voice before I turned around, like a song I thought time had drowned. She stood there slow with a cane in her hand, and the years all fell like grains of sand. That bench is cracked, the paint's long gone, but the willow still sways where we carved our names on. She said, you still wear that old brown hat? I said, only 'cause you said I look like that. 50 years gone, and the world moved fast, but here we are like the first time we passed. No need for words, no need to explain, just two old hearts beating the same. She sat down slow, I took her hand, back at the start where we began, on the bench by the creek, where we said forever, just you and me. They sent me off in '54, said don't come back, there's war, there's war. I wrote you letters, but none got through, and when I came home you'd moved with your kin to New. I waited 10 years, then let it be. Figured you found your own destiny, but I never married, never could see another woman who looked like thee. 50 years gone, and the world moved fast, but here we are like the first time we passed. No need for vows, no need for rings, just the love that never takes wings. She smiled that smile, the one I knew, and I felt 16 all over you, on the bench by the creek, where the willow still speaks of me and you. Time stole our hair, it stole our youth, but it ne'er touched the truth that some loves don't fade, don't bend, don't break. They just wait for the heart to wait. 50 years gone, but the love stayed true. And here we are with nothing to do but sit hand in hand, watch the water glide, and feel that old sweet quiet pride. So if we die here side by side, let them say we came to where we belong, on the bench by the creek, where we loved too long to let go. The bench by the creek still holds us, still knows our name.